Bismillah Rahman Rahim. This is Engineer Masood Akhtar Kiani, and as usual, today we have the technical session number 85. Our subject is topographic survey. Before going ahead, I would like to request you to subscribe, like it, share it, and press the bell icon in order to reach the next video with the easy access. So let us go to the subject. Uh, what is the topographic survey in civil engineering? Uh, The topographic survey, also known as land survey of topographically, and the survey also known as contour, topographical land survey measures and identifies the exact location and specification of natural and human-made features within an area of land. So this is the definition, but we will see what's the topographic survey required and what are the regulation and how it's required for a proper land and the original profile of the earth. A topographic survey locates all the surface features of a property and despite all natural features and elevations. In essential, it is a three-dimensional map of a three-dimensional property showing all natural and man-made features and improvements, especially it shows their location, size, height, and changes in elevations. There are elevations also, front elevation, back elevation, right elevation, left elevation. Elevation mean what are the exact location when somebody directly see uh, at the clear face. The topographic survey, also known as the land survey topographically, and the survey also known as the contour, as we said. But in modern mapping and the topographic mapping and the topographic sheets also, it's a type of a map characterized by large scale detail and quantities representation of relief feature, usually showing contour lines, but historically using a variety of methods uh, uh, at the encyclopedia. The topographic survey is an accurate detail of the site's property area of land, defining boundaries, which is scaled, and the details to show all the natural features of the land. So, what is the role of the topographic survey? An objective of topographic survey is determine the position of n features or the more general and the points in terms of both the horizontal coordinates system such as the latitudes, longitude, and the altitude. Identifying naming features and recognize typical landforms uh, patterns are also part of the field, and this is the part of the topographic survey also. So, what is the topographic survey is used for and useful for? The purpose of the topographic survey is to gather spatial information relating to the sites, natural and the human-made features. This can also be related to the National Ordnance Survey grid datum information after using GPS and the surveying by points. It is typically accepted that the points are positioned in three dimensions where the facilities ground modeling and the visualization of a procedure from topographic survey. Then the another question that what are the benefits of the topographic survey for the site? Obtaining all the correct information early on the design stage of a project, whether a topographic survey or topographically the land survey can be save considerable into and reduce the cost. The facts that are only use highly trained topographic surveyors ensure that they get the exact fit out the sites and the readings. Topographic survey are the first step of the construction for development project. It also plays before the survey is conducted. It also placed before the proper setting out of the project is conducted. So type of the survey depending upon the purpose of the survey and the desired outputs. There are a few types of the topographic survey chosen from, including a general survey, boundary survey, and survey for the construction projects. Whatsoever it is the required. So, what is the topographic survey method? The methodology of the topographic mm, survey determine the relative locations of the points placed on a Earth surface by measuring horizontal distance, difference in elevation and directions. So this is very clear. And then another question also, what are the basic fields methods for the location topographic details? Radiation by the total station measures angle and the distance to each feature x, y, and z of the surveyed point could be displayed in a real time. So how the topographic survey is measured, this is also a question. Use the contour lines of the determined elevations of mountains and flats area. The closer together two lines are, the steeper the slopes. Contour elevation numbers indicates that the direction of the elevation by always reading pointing up hills. Then what are the principle of a topographic survey? The basic principle of a topographic survey uh, locates all surface features of the property, and despite all the natural features and the elevations, it it's a three-dimensional map of a three-dimensional property showing the natural and the man-made features and improvements. Specifically, it shows their location, size, heights, and the changes in the elevation. So, what are the rule of a topographic survey? An objective topographic survey is determined the position of the any features or the more general any points in terms of both the horizontal coordinates system such as the latitude, longitude, and the altitudes, identify mapping features and the recognize typical landform pattern are also part of the field. The next question also it's why the topographic survey is important. So having a detailed and the accurate picture of your land can reduce the risk of the costly downstream mistakes caused by the unforeseen issues. It can also be provide the necessary data you will need about the land before the making any changes to it. So, what are the three main types of the topographic surveys? There is cast topography, KARST, cast topographic survey is describes the distance, landscape, and it's made when underlying rocks dissolved or change the shapes. Second one is the mountain topographic survey, maps showing the landforms such as hills and the mountains. And the third one is vegetation, elevation, and the glaciers. So these are the also milestone of the survey. So again, there is a question that what is the topographic factors? The surface feature of the earth are called topography. Topographic factors include the latitude, altitude, and the direction of the mountains, steepness of the mountains, etc. And then is the question that what are the topographic drawings? Topographic drawings and the maps drawings which show the main physical features of a ground, such as buildings, fences, roads, rivers, lakes, forests, as well as the changes in elevation between the landforms, such as valleys and hills, called the vertical relief. So these are the main factors. So what is the V-shaped contour lines represents? The V-shaped contour lines represent the streams and the drainage. As you can see, the V points uphill to a higher elevation. Generally, you can connect the apex of the upward points V-shaped contour lines and the uh, and the stream as well also. So what are the elevation in the topography? The elevation distance in the topographic is sea level elevation are usually measured in meters or feet. They can also be shown maps by contour lines which connect the points with the same elevation by bands of the color or by number of the giving exact elevation the particular points the earth's surface is located on the maps. So the how does the topographic affect on the growth? The topographic effects on the soil fertility and the increasing fertility and also ridges to the valleys because of the soil erosion processing and the matter transport individual soil fertility variables and the explained by the mm, terrain attributes and the three types of growths of the positive influence by soil fertility and also by the terrain attributes. Then there is another question also. What are the types of the contour lines? There are three kinds of the contour lines. You are also in the map, intermediate index and the supplementary index lines are also the thicker contour lines are also the usually labeled with the numbers of the points along with the lines. And the intermediate line are the thinner, more common lines between the index line. So what is the topographic importance in the water distribution? Topographic are lay by the land. It is an important variable in the water erosion. More specifically, the degree of the steepness, uh, present slope, as well as the slope length in important steep slopes have high runoff water velocity from the top to the uh, down areas, top to the downstreams also. So it is a commonly observed that the topographic uh, strongly affect on the state and the distribution of the vegetation. This topographic affect the normally considered to operate through the regulation of the incoming solar radiation and the lateral distribution of the water and the elements. So this was the briefing about the topographic survey, and we will see each other in next video with another subject. So thank you very much and have a nice day.